Sources have stated, and I don't know whether to question these sources, but they suggest that Elon is putting up $45 million per month in order to help a super PAC whose intention is to make sure that the vote gets out for Trump in the upcoming election. So you could say this is an effort by Musk to make sure that Trump is victorious in the fall. Now, this is not going to be political at all, what I'm going to say. This is about business. Remember the adage, never bet against Elon. Well, the number one least risk-averse person in the known universe has placed yet another massive bet. And this time, he's betting his $180 million that this will buy him a few precious things. He'll get some kind of return on his investment. Now, I know that sounds cynical, but I think when you hear what I'm about to say, it's not cynical in the least. It's just good business. Things that he's hoping to buy with this $180 million are much more precious than homes or yachts. Number one, I believe that he's betting that Trump is better for the Republic. He's better for America. You may agree, you may disagree. I think Trump is betting on that. Elon has decided that the Republicans in general, and Trump in particular, are pro-free speech, not engaged in a cancel culture, that they are anti-war in general, pro-Israel, not woke, anti-DEI, anti-ESG, not inclined to be anti-Semitic. And then there's other kinds of three-letter words that spell handing out favors to those individuals or companies that are part of the in crowd on social issues. In general, Musk is a libertarian, leaning Republican. Trump is a pragmatist who probably has libertarian leanings. Neither one of these men are ideologues. So in the best traditions of many in the wealthier quarters, Musk has decided to spend some of that money to advance his political viewpoint in hopes that it will make his adopted country better, or at least not worse. So I think that's the primary motivation. I think above all, that's what he's doing. But number two, I do believe he wants a seat at the biggest big boy table of them all. I think he wants to be in the kitchen cabinet. Remember, Ronald Reagan had a kitchen cabinet. I think that Elon Musk had and will have again a group of 3, 4, 10 individuals who he's going to really call on to help him when he needs somebody that has some expertise, knowledge, or good wisdom. Elon wants to be called when Trump needs information or direction on issues that Elon is often the most knowledgeable and also the most honest source of opinion. He wants to be able to have Trump pick up the phone if Elon sees an issue that's something he sees going wrong, something in the wrong direction, be able to influence Trump's thinking on issues of the day. Elon says that he's really good at persuading folks. You think? Yeah, he's persuaded people to spend billions on his companies. He's persuaded people to join his organizations, to become his partner, to build entire factories in new regions where he's going to be building new factories. I mean, holy mackerel, this guy is probably the best salesman in history. It's part of being an entrepreneur. I have never known a true entrepreneur of the Elon Musk type that wasn't also an outstanding salesman. But it's very difficult to persuade those who are ideologues, such as Biden on unions and DEI, or Newsom on leftist woke stuff. You see, Biden and Newsom, these are politicians. These guys are born and bred politicians. They're not company owners. They're not running companies and hiring and firing based on profits. So they got where they got because they wanted either the power or the influence. They liked the idea of politics. They liked being part of that game. So they end up, whether they were ideologues before, they end up being ideologues because that's where the money is or where the power is, or because that's where they can get the most influence. I think that Musk sees in Trump someone who's not even close to being an ideologue, but who's open to hearing from others. That's his reputation. I've heard that over and over and over again over the years, that Trump when he's making a decision, he asks everybody for their ideas on the subject, everybody he can find, reach before he makes the decision. That's also Elon Musk's reputation. Twitter, X now. X is a place where Elon gets opinions about everything that he's going to make a decision to do. I've talked about that from the very first book, The Elon Musk Method, how important it is. And Elon talks about it all the time, how important it is to be able to hear from your constituents. That's your customers, your suppliers, everybody that's involved, your employees and your investors, everybody. You need to be able to know what they want. It's a great gift that most great leaders share, is listening to their constituents. Number 3, Elon is betting that a Republican administration will be multiple times friendlier to each and every one of his enterprises, from Tesla to X.com. Tesla and the other companies have been harassed by government agencies of every stripe and kind. And this has even spilled over into the Delaware court system, into the Delaware Chancery Court with its activist judge. Musk's $180 million would be money well spent if it saved him even $100 a year of dealing with agencies bent to hurt him and Tesla. Note that Elon has been willing to move corporate headquarters and make decisions about where to build facilities based on the politics in these areas. So what's a little $180 million compared to the costs associated with moving the corporations, the buildings, or people? So these are number 4. Here's where I think Tesla can get positive benefits. So the first 3, these were reducing risks or getting rid of negatives. Here's where I think Tesla can get positive benefits. In addition, first and foremost, I think Trump wants to be in charge of setting up the U.S. regulations for AI and robotics. This might even be a new position that he might hold. At minimum, it would be he would become the turn-to person for Trump on issues around regulations and the strategic and defense implications of AI and robots. So critical. Second, potentially Trump could reverse the stupid plans for the rural internet plan and get it switched over to Starlink. That would be one great thing right there. Save the U.S. taxpayers billions and make a better deal for the folks in the rural areas that it was impacting. Number 3, Elon needs to convince Trump to go neutral on electric cars. Just neutral. Stop bashing electric cars. Get the rest of the Republican Party to stop bashing electric cars and make it clear that the market will prevail. Whichever type of vehicle is better for the consumer will be the winner. And maybe there'll even be both kinds of cars around for a long time. Maybe not. But just neutral. We'll have, have a real capitalistic war out there. Let the chips fall where they may. Number 4, he needs to convince Trump that the bigger issue is actually trucks, so that he can smooth the way to autonomous electric trucks. I think this is going to be slightly harder under the current administration than Tesla would like, but because the feds are heavily regulating the truck business, interstate commerce. They got much more of a role in trucks because of interstate commerce. So this could be an area that he could really, again, bend the ear of the new POTUS. Number 5, I believe he needs to talk to Trump about the distributive approach to energy transmission. We need to get more energy creation on rooftops and in local settings, such as with mini nukes. This is a completely different way of distribution. It will save huge amounts of effort, huge amounts of money in terms of the grid if we can distribute the energy into the regions and into local situations. This would also be part of the conversation on batteries, because batteries are a strategic part of U.S. power, not power like electric power, but U.S. power. If we don't have our own ability to make batteries, our own ability to store energy in the United States, we will be at a competitive disadvantage strategically as well as commercially. Number 6, I believe he'll be able to prove to Trump the obvious problem with data centers and crypto mining that can only be dealt with through all of the above approach to energy production. Over time, I believe that this will be the big winner. The big winner will be solar, wind, and batteries, and they will overtake coal and natural gas for grid needs. And then electric cars will reduce the need for oil. So over time, we will get the ultimate mission statement accomplished. But when Elon wrote the mission statement with regard to sustainability, what he didn't know was that data centers and crypto mining would be gobbling up immense amounts of electricity and require the fossil fuels to stay in business for a few additional years. Number 7, he needs to bring Trump up to speed on the robot revolution so that the government can prepare for that transition. He even needs to probably talk to him about drone warfare. I forgot to leave that one in there. You know, this is a big hobby horse of mine, but I think that that Musk understands that the drones are the future. I think that these drones include vehicle drones. I think the drones includes robotic drones, you know, humanoid robots in some way as weapons. I know Elon doesn't want to get into the weapons business, but I do believe that Elon believes in defense. And defense, in this case, is probably going to require and use drones of all kinds. Number 8, to the extent possible, I think Elon will want to help figure out the answer to freedom on social media. This is a sticky and difficult area. You've got corporations that own the social media. You don't want the government to own it. Now you just have more, you know, PBS. That's not going to work. But there's got to be a way to possibly make this, to get social media to tell the truth and to get the new AI to tell the truth. There's got to be something that can be done to help this happen, if nothing more than a bully pulpit. Remember the bully pulpit? No, it still is true. Number 9, this could be a way for Musk to get some tests of boring tunnels in federal applications. He can point out the benefits and maybe get a few opportunities to go out and prove the capabilities, the low cost, etc. Maybe he'd even do Warren Redlich's idea of having a boring tunnel that goes under the Bering Straits over to directly to China, eliminating all those cargo ships that spend so much money and fuel going back and forth from China to the United States. Number 10, he will want to bring Trump up to speed on exactly what he's planning, what Musk is planning at Starship. This is an area where it appears Trump has not had much curiosity. He's indicated an interest in rockets and thinks it's really cool, but I don't think he really understands where Elon is intending to go, even in the short term, much less the Mars project. I don't think he really gets the idea of the city-to-city transportation, of being able to move goods and services. Move goods from location to location, and even people. So let me know after you join Patreon. No, I'm kidding. Join Patreon. Let me know what else, why else, how else can Elon benefit from this $180 million spend? What did I leave out? I'm sure I left out a few ideas. There might be some additional things that you would note, or maybe you think some of the things that I said above just can't possibly happen or won't happen, or am I kidding, or that's not who Trump is, or, you know, I'm interested in hearing your point of view. And from time to time, you've seen I even get in and answer a lot of that. I think this weekend, there's a pretty good chance I will be doing something where I respond to the comments and questions that come up in these videos. I think I'm going to have a spot for that this weekend. So put your stuff down there so that I can potentially respond to it this weekend. All right. So like, subscribe. We've got, yeah, we sure do. We've got good news. The good news program. I don't know if it's going to be good news today. Last time I checked the Tesla. Well, let me just look for fun. We'll take a quick look here. We've got Tesla down. How much is it down right now? Everything's having a rough day. Tesla's down 886. NASDAQ is still down 465 points. Yeah, that's the kind of day. So Jeff Lutz will be with me tonight on Good News Wednesday. We'll find good news. We will. There's going to be good news, even if Tesla is down 8 points at the end of the session. All right. It's been great talking to you as always.